Hello and welcome to this special episode on learning Kyma. There is one thing that came across my mind that I wanted to make you aware of. And that's cleaning up Kyma. Because we are playing around quite a bit, we are doing some load tests. We might be pushing out some replica sets. We might be deploying a lot of pods into our trial environment. And the trial is completely free and it's a Kubernetes cluster. Now you can say, okay, dear SAP, if you do that, be aware that we will run quite some load in that area. But I think if we play around within the area, we can also clean things up afterwards. If we do not need it anymore, we don't need to have any pods running if we don't really need them. So within this episode, I want to shortly make you aware that this would be quite nice to do. Because, this reduces the load, and this way I'm quite hopeful that this Kyma offering on SAP Cloud Platform will be there for a longer time and there will be no cost cuts there. Because I'm afraid of that, because it's a bit more expensive to run Kyma on SAP Cloud Platform. So let's be nice, let's do deletion of the resources. There are different ways how to delete that. You can do that via command line specifying a pod.json file. You can delete all pod services based on names. You can delete all pods and services within a namespace, and so on and so forth. So you can do quite some stuff from the kubectl area. You can also do that from the UI. When you do it from the UI, so let's jump in here. As we saw last time, it makes no sense to delete a pod because the deployment will restart the pod if you specified the minimum number of replicas to 1. So what we have to do is we delete the deployment. Yeah, I want to delete that. Which will then also delete the pod afterwards. Now, the services are kind of a different object within the deployment, so they will not be deleted. This is something that you have to do by hand. So if you delete the deployment, services will stay there. So let's delete that one. Now, also the pod should have gone, yeah. And the API rules. Also, the API rules stay there because there are, again, a different object that is not directly linked to your deployment. And when you delete the deployment via the UI, this will not really kick in and tell you that there is a dependent resource. So you have to also delete that manually. So that's up to now all that we created. So we have no more services, we have no more pods, we have no more deployments. API rules are removed. So this test function space is empty. So we can now also delete that one. This now takes a bit. So it tells you that it's terminating. And after a few seconds, it's away. Now, I came across one Q&A from January the other day. Let's see if I find it. Yeah, I have it here. In the SAP community, where somebody asked that he tried to delete a Kyma namespace and he got stuck in the status terminating. As you can see here, and there is an answer by Jamie Colley, one of the rock stars of the Kyma environment. And there are some points that you might stumble across when you delete your namespace that you did not delete, and that's still available. And that's why Kyma cannot delete the namespace. But there is quite some description here. And there is also some reference to the Kubernetes GitHub that should help you if you run into that issue. So yeah, that's it about deleting stuff in Kyma. I think that's quite important because we play around. The trial is quite tempting to put a lot of namespaces in there, to put a lot of traffic in there. So yeah, be like a Boy Scout and leave the things behind better than you found them. So if you do not need the namespaces, if you do not need the pods, delete them, get rid of them, and that's it. Okay, so that was it from this very short special edition on clean up your Kyma trial if you don't need it. I think that's just fair, so we do not need to run any zombie workloads in there. Okay, thank you, and see you in the next episode. Bye.